Humanity has never possessed this much information. At no point in history has the average person had instant access to global libraries, artificial intelligence, psychological frameworks, debates, economic and political analysis, educational content, and millions of human perspectives simultaneously. The modern human carries more information in their pocket than entire civilizations once possessed collectively. And yet, something feels deeply wrong. We are informed, yet people increasingly struggle with information fatigue, fragmentation of attention, and spiritual disorientation. We solved the problem of access, but we may have created the problem of interpretation. For years, society believed ignorance was humanity's greatest enemy. But the digital age introduced a more complicated possibility. A person could be drowning in knowledge while starving for wisdom. This is what makes the modern crisis difficult to diagnose. Externally, humanity appears intellectually advanced because information and ideas now move instantly across the globe, and AI can compress years of learning into minutes. And yet, internally, many people experience cognitive fatigue, attentional fragmentation, which I mentioned in my previous video, emotional overstimulation, confusion, and a quiet inability to discern what actually matters. So the issue shifts from access to information to a loss of meaning. We are consuming more information than the human system was designed to metabolize. A finite mind can only hold so much information. Before breakfast, the mind may absorb war, layoffs, economic anxiety, productivity advice, political outrage, relationship psychology, motivational tips, health and beauty must haves, celebrity controversy, AI disruption, and thousands of invisible comparisons through social media. The result is cognitive overload disguised as awareness. This may explain why so many people feel mentally scattered despite being constantly informed. Information does not automatically become wisdom. Knowledge must be interpreted, ordered, integrated, and applied. Without that process, accumulation becomes fragmentation, and this creates an interesting tension within Scripture. In Daniel chapter 12, there is a vision of increased movement and expanding knowledge. This revelation was given to Daniel concerning the end times, presenting a picture of technological acceleration and global interconnectedness. Honestly, it feels difficult to deny the fulfillment of this prophecy. In fact, I would even say that denying its fulfillment is a form of spiritual blindness. Look around. Humanity now moves, communicates, and learns faster than any civilization before it. But there is another verse that echoes differently in the modern age. In the book of Hosea, the warning appears, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." At first glance, these verses seem contradictory. How can humanity possess infinite information while simultaneously lacking knowledge? This can only happen if the real problem was never information itself. Maybe the deeper issue is not a lack of data or input, but a lack of understanding, discernment, and wisdom. This changes how we understand this modern condition. While the internet increased access to knowledge, it also shattered the hierarchy of importance. Today, triviality and importance compete for the same attention. A celebrity scandal arrives with the same visual intensity as Sudan's humanitarian crisis, and the brain is forced to process all of it within the same cognitive space. This is why many people increasingly crave simplicity. Suddenly, practices that once appeared strange begin to make psychological sense. People simplify their wardrobes, simplify their diets, turn off notifications, and seek solitude because the mind is exhausted. And for the Christian, This matters even more because there is something spiritually dangerous about never being still. A soul constantly stimulated eventually loses its sensitivity to God, which is why sitting in silence, solitude, and even boredom with God is necessary to build depth. Acquiring knowledge in our day is the easy part. The real battle may be protecting the mind's ability to interpret reality clearly, because a fragmented mind struggles to perceive meaning. Perhaps this is why, although information is everywhere, understanding, discernment, and wisdom, which come through proximity to God, are now rare even among Christians. We built systems capable of delivering infinite inputs, but finite minds were never designed to live without interpretive stillness. The greatest fruit of these last days will not be intelligence, but discernment. That means the ability to decide what deserves attention, depth, and silence, and more importantly, what should never have entered the mind at all. Those who navigate these end times successfully will not be the ones who consume the most information across all these platforms, starting with YouTube, but those who can clearly see beneath the noise. And ultimately, only Christ enables us to see beneath it.